on a wet and windy and wild VLN7. It's the end of September now. We were hoping for some dry weather. As you can see, it's still raining. So qualifying reports, wet for that, so obviously we're not going to be hugely competitive, unfortunately. Nicky, however, managed to qualify the car P10, which is really good, with a reduced margin to the pole sitter, which we've had from previous races, even though it's been almost just as wet. So it was a really good job by him. So starting the race is Jody, not me for the first time in 3 races, so it feels a bit odd to actually be able to be on the starting grid and relax a little bit before the race. It's always manic in between qualifying and the race. So yeah, it's potentially going to be a long afternoon, but we'll see what we can do. We always have our fingers crossed that the track is going to dry up and hopefully we can at least get a podium.
Be careful what you wish for, kids.
And then we'll peel off into the pit lane, where there is a definite blend line these days as well, to avoid carnage for those cars that want to pit after maybe 7 laps after the green flag lap. There's still rain on the camera screens, I notice, as the cars get underway, so the rain seems to still be coming down on the Grand Prix circuit. Windscreen wipers definitely the order of the day, as well as those red lights are extinguished from the bridge. It's almost 3 abreast, with a good start from the team man Filter Mercedes from the second row. In fact, will that car lead? There's almost a bit of door handle banging as they come out of the first corner. The Porsche's getting involved as well, of Falcon Motorsports. That looks like suspiciously like Bergmeister with the opening stint in that car, and the Audi's not done either, as the number 48 Mercedes finds itself the wrong side of the white line. There's no grip out there on the runoff area. The Get Speed Performance Mercedes are side by side, but it'll be the number 2 car to lead, and as the 48 goes wide again in the background, and the speed.
I like to think myself as a positive person, but on a wet and damp VLN grid, I wasn't that optimistic. And at the start of the race here, Porsche Carrera Cup cars ahead of us as we start the race, so yeah. However, 1 hour later, I was going to be pleasantly
for the
surprised.
Nurburgring Nordschleife. Another driver going quicker again. It's the same chap, in fact. Jody Fannin, car 34, now getting as quick as a 9:02.378 for the 5th placed BMW M6 GT3, the Valkenhorst Motorsport entry.
So Yokohama provided us with a new development wet tyre, and we thought we had nothing to lose, so we might as well use it in the race. And I remember looking in the garage at team boss Nick and Nicky Catsburg as well, thinking, God, I can't believe it, looking how quick Jody was in the sectors. So mega job by him to get us back into contention.
Still on that lap, so there hasn't been a lap yet where Jody Fannin hasn't made a place. He lost places on the first lap, but having come through at the end of lap 1 in 12th, in the end of lap 2 in 9th, at the end of lap 3 in 8th, end of lap 4 in 7th, lap 5 in 6th, and this lap he's come through in 5th place. So, and that's not including the fact that he's also taken an additional place now with Fabian Schiller being in the pits. So Jody Fannin then comes into the pits in the lead of the race, because on that lap he got ahead of the Phoenix Audi, and that was remarkable performance then. Took some 30 seconds, because I said the gap was quite big. Jody Fannin took some 30 seconds on that last lap, and now they are getting slick tyres ready. The Valkenhorst team running on Yokohamas, and they've got slick tyres ready to put onto the BMW.
The Audi's got them out ahead, though, crucially. So, in fact, Phoenix slightly better with their work to jump the BMW in the pits. I mean, they leave the pit lane virtually.
So, even though we did lose a initial position to the Phoenix Audi, with the Phoenix Audi going out on wets and Nicky going out on slick tyres, he would have got to about turn 1 before he would have lost the position anyways. As you can see now, the gap between the Audi and the BMW behind the 240 was pretty massive, as Nicky was learning the circuit, learning the grip level, and getting heat into those big Yokohama slicks also. Now it was drying, we knew we were on and had the pace, so yeah, was looking forward to seeing Nicky push on and close the gap to the leaders.
Defined in the regulations, but as we were saying, it was Valkenhorst into the pits first, I suppose. It's going to be Nicky Catsburg just going past Janine Hill. So Nicky Catsburg then takes over in second.
Absolutely light
place,
up the timing screens on his first full lap on
except
slick tyres.
that
he made up
I missed, didn't I? Eduardo Mortara it is actually in second place in the number 48 Mercedes. So the HTP man filter Mercedes went through in second place. Dark coloured car, didn't see it. If it'd been bright yellow, I would have seen it. So Eduardo Mortara goes through into second place. Nicky Catsburg is third, just ahead of Janine Hill, who's in fourth place, with into the pits that time around after 9 laps completed for the number 50 car, Otto Klaasen, the Audi.
Cracking move just then, though, from Catsburg on Mortara into the braking zone for the second bit of the Mercedes arena. And Mortara, I think, struggling on those tyres because he went deliberately deep into the cut-through hairpin. Got nothing like the grip that Catsburg is enjoying, although does close up then into the left and the right, still on the Grand Prix track. And it looks like Mortara is happy to put the car in different places from Catsburg, who then struggles out of the right-hander. And Mortara will take the place back again. This is fantastic dueling for third and fourth positions. I don't think we know what tyres the Mercedes is on. That's the now. This is the Mercedes, remember, from Get Speed, and can work its way by Catsburg on the straight there. And that's Janine Hill, and that's because it's pouring with rain on that part of the circuit, Johnny. Yeah, and Kittelbacher and into Flugplatz. I wouldn't put nothing against Janine Hill, but certainly Janine Hill against Nicky Catsburg. Well, he would normally go on Nicky, but Janine, having been overtaken at the beginning of the lap, has now...
So Nicky managed to make it round the rest of the lap on the slicks and survive with the car in one piece into the pits. Falkenhorst put Yokohama wets on and sent him back out.
Lamborghini number 20 is being caught by Janine Hill in the number 23 car. Or is it the 20 car that's just got by 23, in fact? And whipping by the two of them on the right-hand side is Catsburg in the dark blue BMW number 34. Got the Schmickler Performance Porsche just up ahead, which is the 917 car. That machine third, with Karch still at the wheel of that, and they're having to go very slowly indeed into Tiergarten. No opportunity to get up alongside the Cayman because it's got...
But again, as the track started to dry, the tyres really came into their own, the Yokohama wets. And yeah, Nicky was able to stay with the groups ahead of him and actually get back up into fifth place, closing the gap ahead. It was looking really promising again.
From, well, seventh place, ultimately, she was running as high as fourth, though.
And then once again, due to the timing of the track drying and the timing of our pit stops, when I jumped in with 59 minutes to go, we were able to put the Yokohama slick tyres back on to then send it for the rest of the race. Because Nicky did manage to do 2 laps on the slicks, it meant we could then go to the end and not mess up our pit stop strategy at all. So the timing of the tyres and the weather was working out perfectly for us.
And it's about 3 seconds every minute. So every minute you go slightly later, it's a slightly shorter pit stop. He
stalled the car.
But then disaster struck. Our master stroke of timing of strategy was all about to potentially be undone. As I went to pull the car away on the wet pit lane, the car spun up and the traction control kicked in, and it ended up half stalling the car. Then there was a throttle flyby wire error, meaning that I had to do a master reset on the car in the pit lane. And at this point here, I'm screaming at the car to get it started. Eventually it fires back up into life again, and then we are away. And yeah, I wanted to then try and make up the time as soon as I could, but it was pretty slippy. As you can see, there's a dry line just about forming, but being offline on the slick tyres, it's going to be super slippy. You have to be super careful to get it out safely and get the tyres up to temperature. And then once I could survive this tricky first part of the lap, we knew that we were going to be super fast for the rest of the stint.
The evidence I'm taking is just how long it's taking to get these tyres up to temperature. Pittard nearly loses a car entirely there because he's starting to deliberately weave to get temperature up, but the problem was the rear.
So after the initial scare of the moment on the GP circuit on cold tyres, I actually had a relatively quiet and featureless stint, apart from the standard slower traffic antics that you naturally have to deal with when you're driving one of the fastest cars in the race. So yeah, it was just a case of trying to put a nice clean stint, quick stint together. I knew that we would be overlapping people in pit stops, therefore I was trying to push as hard as I could, obviously as safe as I could. There's a dry line on the circuit, but anywhere off the dry line was wet, meaning that passing cars was a little bit difficult, but in the end we managed to bring the car home in third place, which was awesome. Our second podium of the year, and after all the trials and tribulations of the race, and certainly looking back at my prediction for the beginning of the race, I was not confident at all, so it really was a welcome surprise and really good to get after quite a few tough races. VLN5, 6 were both pretty tough races, so yeah, to bounce back to the podium for VLN7 was really good. So yeah, huge thanks to the team, some big steps forward from Yokohama as well. So yeah, we hope to bring that going into 2020 also. So yeah, that's pretty much everything from VLN7, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this insight into behind the scenes of VLN, please give it a like, and if you do want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel and share these videos with someone that you think would like this content. Thanks a lot, catch up soon, ciao ciao.